Okay, so I think we are live for today's webinar. Welcome everybody to today's Cype webinar on Foundation Analysis and Design, an overview of the options available in Cype 2025. Welcome again. My name is Paul. I'm with the International Department here at Cype Engineering Software, and joining me today is a civil engineer from our technical experts or technical supports team, Sonsoles. Say hi, Sonsoles.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Pleasure to have you with us as always, Sonsoles. And yeah, let's get started. Okay. So also
Yes.
we're doing our webinar a bit differently this time, I think, Sonsoles, because today
Oh,
we have a very special prize announcement for the raffle. So
that's
that is
right.
something that, yes, very exciting. This is one of the few times that we're doing it in our events. So please stay tuned until the very end of our program for today to find out more information about that. Okay. But without further ado, let's just dive into the program for today. Okay. So
Sure.
for yeah, so for those that are just joining us and don't know who Cype is, so we are a technical engineering company. We offer programs and software to design and analyze basically the whole life cycle of a building project, from the architecture, the MEP, the structures, and the management. And of course, we are here today for our foundation analysis and design elements. So we're going to focus more on our structures, of course. But we also have an optional workflow via the BIMserver.center. This is a very completely optional digital workflow that we provide alongside our traditional workflows that we have and we offer within our programs as well. So you can make and begin your work in 2D models, or you can also do optionally as a whenever you want, digital workflow with the BIMserver.center. But again, I think that is something that we can chat about at the end, right, Sonsoles?
Yes, sure.
Yes. And for today, I think we have a very exciting webinar on foundation. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and I want to ask our co-panelists here today, Sonsoles, what do we actually have in store for everyone here present today at today's webinar for this event? Okay.
Well, for this foundations webinar, we are going to take a look. First, we're going to make an introduction, okay, about what kind of foundations we can actually do in Cype, okay? We're gonna take a look at three of our software, which are going to be Cype 3D, CypeCAD, and Cype Connect at the end. And we're going to be designing footings and pile caps, designing mat foundations. We're gonna take a look at cell structure and interaction considerations. And of course, we're going to take a look at base plates design in Cype Connect. So now that you can see my screen, that's right, we're in Cype 3D. As you can see, Cype 3D is divided into tabs. So one would be the structure tab, and here we have in the bottom, we have foundation, okay? So here in the foundation tab is where we're going to first take a look at how to insert and edit and everything, footings, pile caps, and tie beams, okay? So if you see up here, we see a menu, it's called foundation elements, and here is where you can start inserting elements in your foundation. So for example, we have reinforced concrete footings, mass concrete footings, and pile caps, as well as tie beams, strap beams, and these other kind of beams which are automatically balanced. The program detects whether it needs balance in the ends or not to be a tie beam or a strap beam. So those are the elements that we can insert here. Reinforced concrete footings can be single start or multiple starts as well. We're gonna see it throughout the session, but basically we have square footings, rectangular or eccentric. Also, you can create tapered square footings, tapered center rectangular footings, and of course, also eccentric. So let me show you what I mean by eccentric. So whenever I click here on square footing and click accept, I'm going to insert a footing. You can see that the mouse only generates one kind of view, which is a square in the middle of a square. If I switch to eccentric footing and I click accept, whenever I'm placed over the column that I want to insert this footing for, can you, Paul, see how the square changes places?
Yeah, I see it
It's
moving around. Yes, your
it's
screen.
teeny
Yes.
tiny, but for example, right now it's pointing to the left upper corner. And if I click now and insert the footing, you will see how the column actually respects that position. Let's delete this one and insert it again so you can see how easy it is to insert eccentric footings. Now we're gonna make it the bottom right corner just to place a nice example of what it can be. So for deletion, to delete elements and edit them and everything, here in Foundation, you will find those options. So for example, I'm now going to delete this one and let's insert one centered right here. So basically, if we wanted to create another footing, but with multiple elements, we would just have to make place for it. And here in Foundations and New, instead of choosing one singular star, we will choose multiple stars. And that will give us the option to select multiple columns. And whenever we confirm and we select what kind of position we want, we will insert it. So just like that, with a few options, we can generate foundation. We can also insert, of course, tie beams and strap beams. Right now, let's insert here strap beams. You can take a look at the different um, libraries of reinforcement and dimensions that the software comes with. Although you can create also your own. Um, let's start by clicking here and to the other column. And as you can see, at first, when you insert a strap beam, both ends are balanced. If you want to change this, you just have to click here of balance ends and select one of the ends, okay? We have the analysis is carried in all these different codes. So for example, we have European codes, we also have American codes, South American codes, and plenty of this job is going to be analyzed in Eurocode too. But as you can see, we have multiple codes that the software is adapted to. So
And I think that's
um,
very interesting to hear also for as well as our audience that's joining us today, because I think we are joined with people from many countries worldwide. And maybe if you're working in a specific country and you also have clients in other countries, you can also still use this program to work with the foundation elements that we're talking about today as well. Yeah, very good thing to know. Thank you, Sansuadas. Yes.
yeah, thank you. So we have just inserted this one footing and this strap beam. Let us insert another. Let's talk about pile caps now. And for podcasts is also the single start and multiple start option is also true. Here, as you can see, you can create your pile cap, insert it whether you want it to be circular or squared section, the diameter, and of course the carrying capacity of the pile caps. And whenever you have a pile, you can insert the cap. So it can be a single cap or a single pile cap. This is what I'm going to insert right now, and maybe we'll switch it in a minute. So now that we have completed the foundation, okay, inserted that footing and this pile cap, let us check and analyze this foundation. So to design it, I'm going to click here on design. As you can see, I want the software to design both the foundation elements, the strap beams and tie beams, and I'm going to click quick on complete design. So it can give us reports. So for example, if we click here on foundation elements and edit the first footing that we inserted, we can now get some results. Okay, this is the result that the design has come up with. If we click here on code checks, we can see that the software has come with solution that actually meets, verifies every code check that I'm using. Code checks like it detects the pressure on the soil. Not we can also see bending in the pad footing. We can see that it meets the verifies the minimal depth. So right now it's all it has come with the solution. But let's say, Paul, that we didn't want this solution, like the geometry that the software has come up with is not what we wanted. We can always change the geometry, and once we give it the dimensions that we want, we can ask it to design only the reinforcement. So that way it will respect the dimensions that we have given the footing, and come up or try to come up with a reinforcement that verifies all the checks. Okay. You can also, whenever you're done with this, so here you can now see the 3D view of the reinforcement. This reinforcement can also be changed here. Clicking in reinforcement, we could add a top reinforcement mesh or a perimeter reinforcement. And those are the editing tools for the analysis of the footing. Let's take a look at the pile cap. So if I edit the single pile cap that I inserted, if I ask for the code checks, I will see that maybe this pile cap didn't have enough capacity. So normally when this happens, what we do is we change it and we distribute the pressure through other with more piles. So let's change the singular pile cap for 3 piles here and see if this one verifies all the checks. Let's run first the design. So we ask it to complete the design, and the software will try to come up with a solution that verifies all the checks. And Paul, let me and everyone, let me show you one cool thing, because these strat and tie models that the software uses can be checked at all times. What I mean by that is here we have this option where we can check for every combination that the software is using, what are the forces over the starts and the ties. So this model can always be checked, and if the pile cap doesn't verify all the checks and it's because of a start or a strat or a tie, then we can analyze what is happening. So one thing that I forgot to say is that this and all the text that we're going to take a look today can be exported to, of course, PDF and multiple formats. So whenever you're done, not only checking this pile cap, but all the foundation, you can always print these reports.
And I
And
think I speak for the audience right now, like with what we're seeing with the reports that you just generated, that it's kind of impressive that the program automatically just generates it on your own based on the standard and the codes that you've set in the beginning, and automatically checks it with the calculations put in. And of course,
Yeah.
if this is something that we always tell to our clients, right? So, Sonsoles, so if you don't really trust us and the program itself, you can
Hmm.
manage it, and you will see
Exactly.
that you would arrive at the same results time and time again. Okay, sorry, Sonsoles.
Exactly. No, it's okay. It's an important information because yes, for example, this drop beam also you can here click the checks and you will see the justification of what the checks. So yes, you can always consult this information and have these results to verify them for yourself and so, yeah, this is for you like pile caps, footings, and stripe beams is this foundation will look something like this here inside 3D.
Okay.
So you might be wondering, what about matte foundations?
Oh yeah, I was about to ask also, like now we have seen all the type of foundations that we have generated from Cype 3D, but
Yes.
we're I think missing a bit of like the matte foundations with this. Where can we see it and how can we do it within Cype's environment?
Yeah. Yeah, so everyone can be asking like, what about the math foundations? Like, because we can see that in this menu, they're not here. So where are they? The answer is in SideCAD. Okay, we're actually now going to close this job here inside 3D, and we're going to move to SideCAD. So let me come back to the side menu and open SideCAD to um, to make an example of what we can do. So what do I mean by bringing this Site 3D job to insert on my foundation here in SipeCAD? So exactly that, okay? We can click here in SipeCAD to create a new job. And whenever we open any job at any Cype software, the software will ask you whether you want to link yourself to a BIMserver project or not. Right now, the answer is no, but we will see it in Cype Connect that we will want to actually link ourselves to the project. So here in SipeCAD, so we're switching softwares, and here in SipeCAD, you can either start an empty project, or you could import. The second option is import a job from Cype 3D, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to select the same example that we were doing in Cype 3D, and whenever I select the job, the assistant asks you whether the foundation in SipeCAD is going to be with matte foundation or pad footings or pad caps. So this is our chance to select matte foundation, please. And whenever we want to, just to make clear, we can switch decisions whenever. But at first, the software will ask you whether you're going to solve the foundation with matte foundation or pad caps. So we're going to select matte foundation for this example. And I'm going to click here on finish. So as you can see, when we're generating a sidecut job, we're also able to select any code, okay, that the software is adapted to. And I'm going to click accept to finally insert it. So where is our Site 3D job now in SideCAD? Because you can now see very lightly some purple crosses in the background and everything. And if we take a look at the 3D view, we will see that the actual structure that was in the structure tab has come to SideCAD. So the question is now, how do we insert a matte foundation? As you can see, SipeCAD also has foundations tab, okay, that is activated whenever we insert columns with external fixity. But now that we have brought it and we have answered to matte foundation, matte foundations are not in the foundation tab. They're in the slab tab, okay? And to insert a slab, we first need to create a beam contour. So here in the beams that we can insert in SipeCAD, you will find a family of beams that are called foundation beams. This will let you set the allowable soil barrier pressures and the subgrade modulus for the beams, which is exactly what we're going to do also for the mat foundation. So here in my foundations, I'm going to select a flat foundation beam of 30 of width, and I'm going to create, sorry, a rectangular contour. Okay, so whenever you close a contour of beams, the software actually asks you like, what do you want to do with this surface? Do you want to make it into an opening, or do you want to insert a slab? And here in this lab tab, we will find panel manager, enter panel, and we're going to select matte foundations. So here they were, well, in this lab tab, okay? And we can create a matte foundation of any depth that we want, selecting the allowable soil bearing pressures and the subgrade modulus. I'm going to leave it like this. Let's say our soil would resist 1,000 tons per square meter, and whenever I click accept and I click in the surface and click beam, I will have inserted a matte foundation, but you don't have to believe me. I will have done it. Okay, it's right here. A matte foundation is right here, and to assign a base reinforcement for this matte foundation, we will find it here also in this slabs menu. Here in assign, we can change according to our reinforcement tables. We will be able to select what kind of reinforcement, and we can assign it to the matte foundation. So also to generate some results that will be more visual for our audience, I want to insert a load, a surface load at some point. 10, yeah, 10 tons will be good enough, I guess. I'm going to insert right quick a okay in this point we have 10 tons more than the other parts of the surface. So we are going to click here on analyze and see what comes up. Going to click accept. Maybe we'll have to assign um, some loads also to the group. So how easy was that, Paul?
Yeah, usually it takes a lot longer, I think, if you're
Yes,
going to do this manually, but now like the software itself is doing it in a matter of seconds, I see. Right?
exactly.
And I think this is a
Yeah,
good time to talk about like from what you were showing earlier from Cype 3D and CypeCAD and how interconnected our software is here at Cype, especially for our structural analysis and design tools. So you can move from one program to another, or if you don't really
mm,
need exactly what you're saying like a matte foundations, if you just need maybe to analyze and design your pile caps and your pad footings, it could also be done in the Cype 3D program as well. This is just another option if you want to move forward.
exactly.
And as what this webinar is to show the foundations and all the types of foundations that we have available, the analysis and design we have available for those types of structural elements here at Cype. So I think that is a good point to like really stress to our viewers here as well that is watching, because maybe they're not working on all of these types of foundations. It could be,
Exactly.
uh, yeah, right. So it can also be maybe
Yes, you
determined
can.
to like a project, or maybe several engineers are working on something with this as well.
That's right. You could be like Site 3D could be good enough, or you will maybe you are interested in math foundations, so you can see how easy it is to bring your Site 3D job. So now that the analysis has been carried, I want to point out the results for the math foundations, just like we have seen the what kind of checks we can get from the footings and packups, which is also true here. Okay, if you insert a column, and we're going to see it in a minute, so I'm not going to say more about that. So as you can see here, these green lines are actually that I got too short. I was too short on my base reinforcement. As you can see here, we can see that the reinforcement that we're taking a look at is additional reinforcement that the software has come up with for the foundation, because I was running short of base reinforcement. Here in slabs, we will, in envelope, okay, we will take a look at the existing varying pressures at the mat foundation. So these are the checks that you can get out of the mat foundation, checking whether there's are being excessive, okay, in this place that we placed more load. You can see that it's exceeding the varying pressures in the mat foundations. Those 1,000 tons that we defined previously are being exceeded here in the uplifting math foundations. We can take a look at whether there are any points in our math foundation which are being uplifted, a very important check, and there were none, okay. And of course, you can always take a look at you can draw the mesh, okay, of the analysis, and you can take a look at these placements over at any point of the math foundation. So those are very important results that you can get out of the math foundation, but let's not forget contour plots. Here in this other tab called contour plots, you can also analyze the displacements of the mat foundation for any load case or combination that has been set, okay? And as you can see, the color will show you what parts are actually suffering the most, or what the display, in what zones we have more displacement. And so I think, well, maybe let's take a look at the drawings that we can generate, okay? But for that, maybe I have a better job to show you, because I've been talking about what kind of foundations we can insert, but of course I didn't have enough time to insert all of them. So I just wanted to show you all how those three pile caps, we have more types of foundations inserted in this other job. Here you can see a footing of multiple starts. We can see tapered footings. And basically, I wanted to move to this other foundation because now you can see that the foundation tab is activated due to the external fixity of the columns. So here in this example, we have at the same time, I know it's not usual and it's not a real job, but I wanted to show you all the elements, all the tools. So for this example, I wanted to point out that not only a math foundation can have this, I will say it, uh, this, so here in soil structure interaction, you will see that we can also we can define a subgrade modulus for our footings. So it's not only mud foundations that can have differential settlements, but also these footings, we could give them as subgrade modulus and carry the analysis taking that into consideration. So this is one of our highlights of today's was one of our highlights, and of course uh, the um, the drawings and the reports that we can get out of this. So for this example, I have selected to create just like this. Okay, don't think it was too hard. Just by selecting the kind of drawing that I want, which was foundation loads, floor plans, and 3D, the 3D structure that we have inserted to get the base plates. Oh, I forgot about base plate, Paul.
Yeah,
And
actually, I was about to say
yeah,
here.
I'm running too much. So, where are the base plates? You could all be wondering, like, because maybe you have heard that Cype3D and CypeCAD do generate some base plates, and they do. Basically, if you have inserted a 3D structure, okay, the panel is right here, integrated 3D structures, and if we edit this 3D structure, we will see that Cype3D and CypeCAD can generate some connections. Okay, they're just some of them, but of course the software can generate base plates. So if we edit this one, for example, you will see that here in CypeCAD you can create in Cype3D. Okay, this is for both of them. Square base plates with anchor bolts details. You can ask the software to design it. Of course, don't have to. Let's create one. So here we can say generate, and we will have generated them all. And if we click edit, for example, this one, which was not created previously, we can ask the software to design the base plate for us. So since it has the forces in the base of the column, it can create the base plate for you. Of course, there's a little bit of editing here as whether you want the column to be centered, or the dimensions of the base plate and what bolts, but basically you can get a full, of course, report of the base plate here, and you could also get the 3D view and all the I will say it. I wanted to create for you guys the drawing. So here, coming back to drawings, because here is where I remembered that we hadn't pointed out the base plates. We will see that the 3D structure comes with the option to generate also the drawings for the base plates. And let's create these full foundation loads for plants foundation and 3D structure drawings right quick, so the audience can see what kind of outputs we can get from CypeCAD.
So I'm seeing here like a pattern with the programs that we have here at Cype, from Cype 3D and CypeCAD, from getting the results from the reports and also the drawings. This is something that I think is also very universal with our programs that we have here, because it's like one of the most tedious tasks that
Yes.
an engineer can do, most time consuming,
Mm-hmm.
and also some people would say the most important, and you need a really strong an analytical background for this to come out well. And the program just essentially makes it easier for you to have these results automatically generated as well. And then this goes not only with our structural analysis that we're presenting now, but with other
Mm-hmm.
programs that we have available in for other fields and practices as well.
Exactly. I would say that's one of the biggest and the biggest highlights of the software for sure. And of course, you can take a look at the drawings that the software has generated automatically of that tab or footing that we were seeing earlier. And I want to take a look also at the 3D inserted structure, so you can see the drawing of the base plate that we just generated. Because if you're okay with it, Paul, I think we're moving on to Cype Connect now, right?
Yeah, I think so. So this
Okay.
again is another program that we have here for that's going to be highlighted today. We're for base plates most precisely. But now my question is, so CypCAD and Cype 3D has their own library and can automatically do the base plates for you
Yes.
for the foundation. But we're moving into another program, Cype Connect, which if you would need a more complicated or more complex design of your base plate is something that maybe that's not available, or you might want to like edit for yourself and customize. This is something
Yeah.
that you also give for foundation for our foundation needs as well to the engineers as well. So yes, just to
Okay.
clarify that as well, Clara.
Yes, for sure. You could be okay with the base plates that SciCAD and Sci3D generate, of course. Those might be that might be it. Like maybe you can get them out of here and you can see how easy it was to generate them. But what if we want to create some more specific base plates? So let's now move to Site Connect. Okay, for that I have previously shared this job to to this foundation project in BIMserver.center. Okay, we will take a look at it in the end. But basically, I signed my into my account. I selected this project and I shared the file. So why to have the forces for the in the bars? Okay, so you could of course, as always, come here to StypeConnect and create a new job from scratch. We're going to create a new job, but we're actually going to be uh, we're going to use the forces of the analysis carried out by SiteCAD to not have to insert the loads in the bars to generate the base plate. So basically what we do is here when the software asks you whether you want to link yourself or not, you have to be logged into your account. And when you click here on select project, if you have created it previously, you will see here that I have one called foundations and that I shared the structure that we had seen, and I can click here on import and I will import the loads in the bars so we can automatically, when we come to the analysis tab of the base plate, we can actually have already loads to work with. So here you can see bar distribution like it's our structure, okay, the same one that we've been talking about. And to generate a base plate here in CypCAD, I will create here, I will click on new and I will select, for example, this base of this column. I will click accept and I will have just like that created a new node to define a connection. So for this example, we're going to insert a base plate, okay? And you can select the material, you can select whether you want it to be rectangular, circular, or polygonal, okay? These options are very, one thing that differentiates the base plates that you can generate in CypCAD and Cype 3D and in CypConnect is exactly this. In Cype 3 and CypCAD, they were always rectangular, and here you can create, as you can see, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so we can all take a look at it, but basically you can generate a base plate of the geometry you want. I'm going to create a rectangular. I'm going to give it their dimensions. And now here, the software gives you some options to for whether you want to where you want to place it. Okay, this is very very helpful. Okay, when you want this plate not to be a base plate but part of your connection, you can use these options, and they will help you place the base plate where or the plate where you want it. So secondly, we're going to adjust the this bar to the base plate. So for that, I just selected this adjust bar option, and we're going to adjust it to base this plate number 1, and we're going to add the welds just like that. Okay, you could actually change the the width of the wells, okay. But let's not take stop too much at that, because what I want to show you, Paul and everyone, is actually the base plate options that differentiate from SciCAD and Sci3D. Here in the base plate, you can add this operation called anchors. And when you do and select the base plate that you want to insert it for, you will have the option to insert the anchors manually, okay, by inserting the coordinates. Or you can always use this if you are know that you want to insert a 2x2 design of anchors, and you know a little bit about the dimensions of your base plate, you can easily um, have this data. And this assistant is just to make things easier. So this is a help tool to insert um, the anchors. Another way to insert anchors, sorry, would be having a table somewhere, and when you come here and paste over the table, you will give it the coordinates. So, one very important fact about the different shades, the base plates are in Cype Connect, is that you can do the anchors post installed. Okay, in Sci 3D and SciCAD, they're all casting anchors, and here you can establish a post installed anchor. If you actually registered in our OpenBeam database, you can have access to some manufacturers of post-installed anchors, and you can easily download um, their I will say that they're anchors to actually use them in your model. So when you click here on finish, I will have this option of selecting Hilti or whatever anchors, and I will be using in my job manufacturer post install anchors, and I will be checking exactly those. Okay, if there's any trouble, the software will tell you here what it's wrong. So here it says the length of the anchor embedded in the concrete is less than the minimal allowable. Let's see, what is it? It should be 60 millimeters. So we come here to this length and we give it 60 and it will be fixed. Okay, so if there are none messages here, we can move into the analysis tab to take a look at the what kind of results can we get. So we brought this job by using the OpenBeam workflow, right, Paul? We linked ourselves or this job to the project because we wanted to have the load. So let's see if they're here, and they're right here, okay? This would be otherwise empty for us to fill up, which is okay if you want to do it. But this load cases and everything has come because of the OpenBeam workflow. Just like that, we could also ask or tell the software this. We want to analyze the rotational stiffness of this bar, okay, which is an option here inside Connect. But let me move to the stress and strain analysis. We're going to click right here, and we're going to see in a minute the results for this stress and strain analysis of this base plate here inside Connect. So just like that, we have the results of the analysis. And as you can see, we have the colors in the model. Already warned you of course, everything displayed in green is that it must be verifying all the checks, but something in red should call called our attention. So for example, the anchors that we have selected, we can click here in the anchors and actually take a look at what checks there are not being verified. And Paul, how specific are these? Like these are code checks, step by step, actually
With the
shown
references
with
and the formula as well. Yeah.
exact exactly. And if we want them to see them bigger, we can ask for the page view, and you can see all the results right here. Um, and if for one very important thing about this um, Cype Connect analysis is that it's being carried out with a analysis the motor is OpenSys, right? From
Yeah.
the
From
University
the
of
University of
Berkeley.
California. Yeah, so it's like an internationally recognized tool as well. Like maybe if this is something that is a standard in your country, it could be interesting to use as well because this is from the US and standardized as well over there as a more standard approach to our connection as well.
Exactly. And so this OpenSys is, of course, an element, finite element analysis. So we can now switch from maximum demand capacity ratio to see the results of the von Mises stress and the equivalent von Mises stress to take a look at what is actually going on in our model. So this is very, very advanced. And of course, you can get the summary for all the checks right here. We can ask the software to print out all those results. Even if they don't verify, we will have to take a look at that. But I wanted to show you all these results. And of course, we have the time that we have, but please let me show you because once you work on a any connection here inside Connect, you can export it to your own connection library. And I wanted to point out because I'd I have had created some other examples to point out maybe if I'm missing some important information. Let's take a look at really short look at this other base plate. Okay, the stiffness in this stiffness, sorry, in this model have been created with this tool, which is new in 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 the 2025 version. I guess I think they were already ready for the 2024 F, but more and more operations are to come. So for example, the circular or the radial stiffeners in this model have been created just like that with this tool and selecting a circular hollow section. You can make the position, select what number of stiffeners you want to create and in what position, and the software will add them for you. So this is 2025 version. And I don't, oh yeah, of course, the drawings for these connections. So I'm moving very quickly, sorry about that, but I'm moving from model tab to analysis tab, right as quick to the drawing tab. And here you can see that some drawings have been created for this base plate, but let us not fool us, but let's take a look at it because this is not just CAD, okay? Since we've been working in a BIM model, we have access to this all this information. So, for example, this drawing, of course, you can um, turn it around and generate the view as you want it. But also, Paul, you can use this tag tool to actually select anything in the model because it's not just CAD, it's actually a B model. So if we selected, for example, let's say the anchors, and we will have access to all the information about these sinkers because it's a BIM model. So we will have to, of course, select what kind of variables we want to insert in the drawing, but here it will tell you the dimensions, what material has been used, the scale, and even maybe I can get out more information about, for example, this weld, or even the bar can give us more information. So maybe this weld, and whenever you edit the tag, you have access to all the information. So it's not just a drawing. It actually, let me show you how it generates them automatically also, because of course, here is the 3D scene where you have access to the BIM model, but you have also tools to help you create these. I'm going to select some of them not to too much the drawing, and you can see how fast it is to generate these drawings, and they're actually they could be very specific and with a lot of detail, as you can see.
Okay. So now I think I was curious because now you're now talking about like this BIM that we have that, and like we have sprinkles of that throughout our event and our webinar today about getting from the BIM Server Center and like the projects that we do over the BIM servers, and then how you can import and then export to this platform that I've talked about very briefly in the beginning. Now that we're seeing the BIM Server Center website, can you share exactly what exactly are we seeing at the moment, and why is it relevant to our foundation analysis and design programs?
Okay, so we said we have a BIM platform that all our apps connect through, and this is it. Okay, this is BIM Server Center. Anyone with they can register, and here we have access to, for example, my projects. Okay, this is meant to be also a exchange of professional interactions. So if I create this foundation project, for example, I could actually add you, Paul, to my work team to share with you just the 3D view of it, or maybe if I want you to check out the foundation, so I could easily here come into the my projects and to this project, add a collaborator to my work team. You will just have to find by name, for example. If we search for you, Paul, maybe you will come
Yeah.
up. Yes. So any collaborator you may want is, as you can see here, I have some pending requests. So for anyone we add to this project, they will get a notification here in the notification bells of that they want to be added to collaborate on our project. So basically, whenever I shared, as we saw from Cype, whenever we click on shared in any app, will we be sending the information to this cloud for us to say this BIM cloud, and let's take a look at our project, for example, because this 3D vision of the model that we have just shared to BIM Server Center can get as cool as this. So maybe we will not pay so much attention to the upper part of the structure. In our case, it was not relevant to this foundation webinar, but yes, I want to point out that you will see visible as sorry, layers here that you can make see-through or not transparent to take a look, for example, at the reinforcement. Okay, so how cool would be to share our project with any colleague just by registering into this platform. You will be able to get take a look at this project, and you can see, Paul, the reinforcement of the beams and those other types of foundations that we created throughout the webinar.
Yeah, exactly. As you were saying, as you were explaining throughout the beginning of the webinar, the project that you've been working on, and here it is in the BIM Server Center. And I think one of the best parts actually is that this platform that we're offering is completely for free. You can begin and sign up right now and start using this platform right now for free. And some
That's
people
correct.
have been asking, like, why is it
Hmm.
really for free? And I'd like to share as well, because since its very inception, like in the very early stages of our company, we've been involved in a variety of research projects here in Europe with the EU and other government institutions. And one of the projects that were presented or were derived from those research projects was actually BIM Server Center, and we're just now offering it as well, not as uh, like a program to like specifically work on, but as an additional program, a complementary to traditional workflows, as we have seen from your presentations and so on, because this from the Cype 3D, Cype CAD you have presented all workflow traditional way you're getting, but this is something that we offer as a complement, as an alternative as well. And I think with this, I think before I begin and maybe share as well about the more information about raffle, if people are still here with us, maybe I'd like to ask now, my final question to you is that now that you've presented all these elements and the programs about our foundation analysis here in Cype CAD and Cype 3D and the base plates in Cype Connect, what do you think are the best features of like using Cype for your foundation element needs, in your opinion, as the engineer presenting with us for today?
Well, as an engineer, I think it's really useful that the program can take most of the work, where I just need to make sure that all my input data is right and correct and getting all those technical reports that we've been seeing throughout the webinar. The automatic calculation serves so much time and effort on my part for sure. And having the option to also do more standard and complex designs foundations based on projects is also a really good option to have.
Yeah, that is also something very special as well. Since now that you are sharing your screen, I'd just like to point out to our viewers that if you want to try the software out for free for 10 days, non-consecutive, you may download the software in the site menu if you would, or in the site menu would rather be okay, I think.
Yeah, the right side menu.
Yeah, in the site menu. So you would just
Yes,
download the site menu from the BIM Server Center store and
exactly.
download the evaluation version and the programs that we have chosen, that we have seen from today, which are CypCAD, Cype 3D, and Cype Connect. And this, you may choose evaluation for each, and you would get 10 days, again, non-consecutive look into the programs that Sonsodas has um, shown for us today. And I'd like to just now quickly end and maybe do some concluding remarks and share as well the promo that we have. If I'll just share my screen very quickly. And I think with this, we have to end our presentation. I think it's a very great presentation, Sonsoles. Thank you so much for being our expert in today's um, webinar on
Thank you
foundation
so much, and all
analysis.
our audience.
And thank you as well to all of our audience watching from their computer screens. Okay, we wish you the best and have a good day, and we'll see you the next webinar. Thank you so
See
much and
you.
goodbye. Goodbye, Sonsoles.
Bye bye. See you guys.